Hey, what's up guys and welcome back. First of all, if you would like to support the channel and donate to me, my PayPal will be down in the description, so thank you all very much. So welcome back to Animaking 2, and I'm back with part 2 of What If Naruto Had True Immortality, guys. If you enjoyed this and you want to see the other part, just comment down below and tell me, and I'll be posting it as soon as possible for you guys to enjoy. And also, don't forget to go ahead and check out the other channels. If you're new, yes, I indeed have 3 more channels, which I post What If on every single day for you guys to enjoy. The link will be down in the description, so go ahead and obliterate that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And if you want your what if to be done by me, just comment on any of my latest videos and I'll be posting it as soon as possible. So without further ado or wasting more time, let's begin this now, guys. So, the last part that we left off, we were introduced to a rather depressed Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto's life has been true hell. Since he could remember, he has been in hell. As he just wanted it all to be over. He just wanted all to be ended. He threw himself right off a cliff. After putting a kunai through himself, Naruto thought that was over, that he would get to sleep. The blissful, endless sleep. Unfortunately though, the Nine Tails didn't want him to die like this. Their relationship was extremely different than it normally would have been. A tail beast and a Jinchuriki. The Nine Tails fought against it. As the hands of death came to claim Naruto's soul, electricity rained from the heavens on the rather pouring night, red lightning clashing down. Something phenomenal happened that would change the course of history forever in that moment as Naruto plunged into the water. We then got to see who was responsible for Naruto's life being hell. It was Danzo Shimura. Not only did Danzo release the information about Naruto being a Jinchuriki, not only did he make sure that Naruto was attacked, to make sure the boy was broken, to make sure that he was alone, so when he finally decided to make his move, he would join his side. However, due to Hiruzen interference, Danzo knew that he had to make a move now, a move that would secure the future for him, so he had Naruto kidnapped, making sure that he was never found. However, as we got to dive into Naruto's background, after being knocked unconscious when he was 4 years old, Naruto was able to enter his mindscape and meet the Nine-Tailed Fox. There was a lot of time there for the both of them to get to know one another. The beast was angry at first, but Naruto's childlike innocence got to the Nine-Tails. His first thoughts, how to free the Nine-Tailed Fox. For the remainder of time, the fox had to watch as Naruto was treated like garbage. Even when the fox started to grow emotions, he tried to push Naruto away by telling him that he killed his parents, but even then, Naruto tried to understand him, making the fox break down and tell him everything that happened that night, everything that he could recall. After all, a large gap of it was missing due to him being controlled. Knowing the Nine-Tailed Fox and his pride, him telling Naruto that shows how much he trusts him. Another part was him giving Naruto his name. We also got to meet a woman known as Gaia. While she wasn't specially trained like the others, she was special in many different ways. She was an expert on the mind, controlling and manipulating ones with just a few words. She was placed on Naruto's task, courtesy of Danzo Shimura, to ensure that the boy would be willed through his side, due to pain and suffering that he was feeling through all of the experiments. Danzo was close, extremely so. He's been able to isolate the power of the fox. However, he needed more of the fox chakra. It's been years, but controlling such a powerful chakra was truly intense. But he needed more to make more subjects, more experiments that would be able to dominate all of his foes. Superhumans with strength and speed, not to mention regenerative abilities. They were sent out to find Naruto, but they were unable to locate him, as the stream had pulled Naruto away. Surprisingly, though Naruto pulled himself out a distance away, he was rather shocked that he was alive. After failing numerous times, Naruto realized that he just could not die. He went to visit the fox once again. The fox that had shrunk. Naruto had seen his parents. He saw them, their hands had held him. The fox told him why he stepped in to save his life. It wasn't because they were friends. It was because Naruto was the one that his father spoke about. Kurama could see it. He could tell, he could understand it from just being near to the boy. His father was wrong though. He believed that love and unity would fix the world. However, the world needed a proper structure. It needed a proper hand. It needed proper guidance. It needed power, reassurance. And it seems like the heavens had indeed blessed Naruto because he could not be killed. He was literally unkillable. That was a living definition of a sign if Kurama's ever seen one before. He was the one. He was chosen. We later found out that Naruto's physical attributes had been drastically boosted due to the fact that his limbs regenerate in seconds. As he was able to bypass the human limit, his body simply regenerate no matter what. Even removing his head could not kill him. We also had a glimpse back at Konoha, as Hiruzen had failed to locate Naruto, believing that Naruto was no longer amongst the land of living. And he failed. It caused a lot of squabble between him and Jiraiya, as Jiraiya was angry at himself as well for not being able to do anything, for not even being here. Some weeks passed by as Naruto was learning a lot. We got to see Kurama in human form, as he was able to isolate piece of Naruto by literally removing it. We also got to see Naruto using his bones as weapon, as he could do a lot of things. Immortality truly granted him a lot of physical attributes, but it wasn't just that. There were things that the human body was limited to, but no longer, because Naruto physically, nothing could wipe him out. Even the Ninetales attacking him with a ferocious force could not erase Naruto. It just goes to show that he had true immortality, and the world would know of him very soon. He just need to learn how to properly control himself and control his gifts that were given to him. Naruto didn't have much to hope for, but hearing people like the Ninetales or other people out there count on him was giving him a reason to go on. After all, his first thought after freeing himself was to end it all, but now, having a reason, it kept him going. So yeah guys, basically let's play off you guys again. Switch across the place check out for yourself. So let's begin this new episode. She hated this place. The darkness reflected within her eyes. Her amber eyes. Her name was Gaia. She was Danzo's best. When it came to mental manipulation, she did not hail from any special clan, which made her so much more important. Her skills were so refined that it could outdo some of the best. She could study you and understand you from just a few words. She could pick your brain apart without you even noticing. She knew how to fight, but she was far from the best. But her words could make her captors or even someone that was hired to kill her stop and join her side. She was a very manipulative person. Her words were that powerful. She did not come from this village. She was actually an orphan. Someone that was forced to live on the street. As she didn't live in an orphanage or live with anyone to see her as a young girl. Instead, she lived in a brutal, rough world that is the elemental nation. She knew that she had to protect herself. She was a girl, physically defenseless against most of these brutes. So she started to use her words. Over time, she became better and better, understanding emotions, understanding how people think, how they acted. She became so good that she was found by one man that was so closed up. She found it actually hard to break down his walls. But the moment she started to see through them, he hired her. He wanted her to be a part of his team. And that man was Danzo Chimera. The benefits that she received working with him were beyond anything that she ever had in her life. However, she's done so many horrific things. She's manipulated many into committing acts of genocide and then taking themselves out. And she did it because that was what she did to survive. She's done so many wicked things, but now she was sickened by her own thoughts. All she wanted to know was that he was alive, that he was okay. One boy. She didn't understand it. In the beginning, she believed that he was turning to her side, but she soon realized that she was the one actually being affected. She couldn't understand it. The boy was so genuine, so kind. You see, once you gave him emotions, once you gave him something to cling on to, he latched onto it without hesitation. She made him trust her, and in doing so, he saw her as someone that wanted the best for him. And his words, his kindness, he started to affect her in ways that she couldn't understand. She's been doing this for years, and yet a child was able to make her feel horrible about what she was doing. Little by little, it started with sleepless nights, her constantly worrying about him. Usually, seeing people suffering did not bother her in the slightest. It was her job. She did what she did because there was a benefits. However, when she heard his cries, and when she spoke to him afterwards, she felt like her heart was being broke apart. She couldn't understand it. She wanted to stop. She went as far as to bring in a weapon to end his suffering. She had it all planned out. She would claim that he attacked her, that he lost it. However, seeing that genuine smile on his face, she couldn't do it. She couldn't. She told him before she released him. Yes, Gaia was the one that released Naruto. There was a chance that he would be captured, even though she went to the extreme limit to ensure that he would get away by making sure that they wouldn't catch up. And there was a chance the information would come out on who let him out. But she was expecting that. There was another scenario when she was ready for Danzo to eliminate her for it. And this was all because of that one child. It's been 2 years. 2 years since she saw him. 2 years now since they've been searching for him without a clue. And he was gone. She hoped that he was out there okay. She hoped he found some kind of happiness. She had no idea why she was still here, because every single day that has passed has been sickening. This job became a chore, a very hectic one. She no longer did this for the active notion that she would get payment for her services. Each time she felt like she was about to throw up, like her mind and soul simply just could not take it anymore. And this was all because of one boy. She snapped out of her thoughts as she looked towards the root ninja in front of her. Most of them, due to their lack of emotions, you would think that made them the perfect weapon. Well, in a way it did, but sometimes there was a crack, a mental crack, and she was brought in to ensure that it did not take over, otherwise they would be seen as a defective tool that had to be put away. But she didn't want that. She was here to help, but she found herself doing her job in a different way. Danzo would not be pleased, but it would bring her relief, bring her some happiness knowing that she wasn't causing that much suffering anymore. She didn't know why she was still doing this. Maybe she was just delusional. Maybe it was because of the final words that Naruto said to her. Don't worry, I'll come back for you when I'm stronger. I'll save you. Naruto was obviously lying to her. She didn't know that though because he was planning on simply ending it all after being freed. However, by chance and by fate he did not die. He was out there. But she had no idea if he was alive, but deep down she believed that he was. Gaia never knew her family. She just knew that she woke up in an orphanage one day. Like she gained sentience one day and she was around a bunch of kids, alone and abandoned. She was able to experience what it was like to have a younger brother. And Naruto was that younger brother. That is why she couldn't allow him to suffer anymore. That is why she freed him. And perhaps she was just being delusional even more, believing that one day he will come here and save her from all of this. That was crazy, right? Yet, she was still alive, yet she hadn't run away. There must be a reason behind it. Meanwhile, at the office, Hiruzen and Sarutobi sat behind the decks. As he was gazing toward the small, handheld mirror in his hand, the years had not truly been kind to him. You could see the extra wrinkles. You could see the marks. Hiruzen had grown older. Yes, he had. There was a lot that took place. A lot that changed many things in the past. You see, many of the younger generations were dying out during the war, and they were the future. So many had changed many systems to include that. The younger generation had to truly understand and know what it means to be a ninja before they actually get sent out on dangerous missions. And due to the time of peace, they were finally able to achieve that. And Itachi Uchiha was one of the biggest changes within the village. Others had already made their change, but Konoha believed they were doing well. They were above this. But after he committed genocide upon his clan, it seems like there was simply too much for children to handle. This wasn't a war-torn days anymore. Thus, 2 extra years were placed in to allow them to grow in a tactic way, ensuring that they would master new areas, grow their strength before going into the world. While others were slowly putting this in place for some of their people, when Konoha truly put it in, others started to follow, ensuring that the extra 2 years would grow them a lot more in terms of being a ninja. Thus, everyone was subjugated to 2 more years, allowing them to grow. The class was now 14 to 15 years old. You had some of them that got in early and some of them that got in late. There was one Sasuke Uchiha that was a part of this year's graduation class. Naruto should have been there. However, he was never found. He wasn't alive anymore. Hiruzen knew that in his heart. Jiraiya had been to the village a few times since. The relationship between them has been building back up. Jiraiya realized that his search was pointless. He was a man that knew everything because of his spine at work, always gaining inside information, but Naruto was simply gone. He was gone. The both of them dealing with this allowed their relationship to build once again. While they both blamed themselves, they had to step forward, they had to see the future. Despite the regrets and guilt that was still weighing down on them both, Hiruzen realized that time was catching up with him. It is time that he chose a successor. It was time that he stepped down. He had perhaps a year or 2 left in him, but it was time that he put down the title and give it up to someone to ensure that the future population carry on with a more younger, strengthening voice. It was time that he made that step in his career and finally rest. As he gazed towards a candidate for this year's graduation, a large group of students, they will be something special. He could just feel it, he said to himself. Time skip. Within the mountain regions, close enough to Kumo than any other village, we find 2 young men gazing towards one another. The differences were clear. One of them had red eyes with slits in them, thick whisker marks on both of his cheeks. Even with his mouth closed, You could see his teeth pointing out. Spiky, red here. The color was a bit between red and orange. Fiery, as it just shoot upwards. Their clothing was the same though, considering that he made him out of himself. Over to the other side, his hair was longer. 2 years of growth could do that to you. His eyes were red, no slits. Underneath his eyes were the lines that he cried that day before he fell off the cliff. The heavens that struck him and the Nine-Tails power that enveloped him inside changed his features. They ran through his whisker marks, 2 red lines running down his eyes, going down towards his chin and coming to a stop. They were both dressed in the same clothing. He was wearing a dark, long-sleeved red shirt with a red obi wrapped around his waist, along with dark red pants as well and sandals. It was because of the numerous times he bled. It was not blending very much with your standard color clothing. Red was more efficient for that matter. Not to mention he liked it. The aesthetic with his eyes and hair also blending as well. Kurama had taken control of one of Naruto's clones as usual, made from Naruto's physical arm. As Naruto stood there, now 15 years old, you could see the difference. A lot has happened. A lot has happened. And he was now testing him to see that all of his efforts had paid off. Naruto held a stone in his hand as he flipped it in the air. Both of them kept their eyes on it. The second the stone touched the ground, Kurama nails slashed at the side of Naruto's head. Naruto had moved so fast that the nails did not even touch him. Kurama grinned though. He spun, but Naruto weaved underneath it. A hand first and then a leg. Naruto twisted and flipped away. Kurama was upon him in seconds though. Naruto crossed his arm in an X motion. The fist sent him sailing towards a mountain. Kurama did not stop there. He opened his mouth and started to fire tiny projectiles, superheated bombs, because the moment they touched, they exploded. But Naruto was already in mid-air. The fox leaped into the sky, blitzing past Naruto and dropping his leg. Naruto grabbed it though, and pulled down so the both of them went down. He bashed Kurama into the ground violently before kicking him towards the mountainside. Kurama flipped and landed on all fours. The moment he did, the grin on his face extended even more. The chakra started to seep out of him, his features turning even more wild. 2 tails behind him swinging loosely, turning into 3. He lashed out both of his hands on the ground instead of Naruto as he pulled himself forward, allowing his arms to retract. His head crashed within Naruto's guard. He kicked it upwards, breaking said guard. He then slammed his leg into Naruto's chest. His arm then pulled back as he slammed it straight into Naruto's gut, tearing through flesh as his nails ripped into him. I must say, his voice sounding deeper due to the chakra. I'm quite disappointed, until he looked up and saw that Naruto was also smiling. I got you now, said Naruto. The punch that he delivered, it shook the air, literally trembling the air itself. The Nine-Tails blinked and he was in mid-air, his body showing no signs of stopping anytime soon. He burst through the clouds. Granted they were high up on the mountain, but still, he burst through the clouds. A normal ninja would have died from that attack. Kurama looked around as he saw he was surrounded by fingers, arms, and ears. Naruto had ripped off his body parts and launched them into the sky. The fox immediately covered himself as all of them erupted in a violent explosion. Naruto called it body swarm. He ripped off his limbs and infused them with chakra. They swarm like a parasite, before they erupted in a chakra pulse, detonating in the sky. However, Kurama burst out of the smoke, 4 tails now behind him. All of his flesh was burned off. He hit the ground with a boom. His speed, 10 times faster than before. He blitzed behind Naruto, his arm extended out. One slash would tear Naruto in half. However, Kurama noticed that Naruto's thumb was in mid-air, his thumb that he just recently removed. He called it his rebirth clone. Instead of your standard shadow clone, Naruto grew a fully anonymous version of himself from a body part. The hand of the 9 tails ripped through the clone, causing Naruto to grab it on the other side. The momentum was slowed down due to the clone's body. With the hand now grabbed, Naruto struck Kurama with his palm. The vibrations ripped through Kurama's back and shattered the ground behind him. Naruto's blows were not standard. He was surpassing the human limit due to the lack of restrictions that were on his body, as he was going into the supernatural strength levels. The fox staggered back as Naruto rocked him left, rocked him right. Naruto knocked him once again in the ear. Naruto was showing no signs of slowing down, despite the fact that the chakra burnt his skin. However, in less than a second, it healed like it never happened. Naruto pointed his finger upwards. His bones shoot at such a velocity, it would pierce through steel and stone. So it ripped through Kurama, tearing through him. The fox quickly regenerated though. Keep in mind that this was a copy of Naruto. The only way to truly destroy it was to destroy it completely, erase it. However, that was the difference between partial immortality and true immortality. Erasing Naruto would just have him returning back. His existence was tied to this reality itself, bonded like some kind of leech, like a virus that truly cannot be removed. By the time the fox landed, his belly was already swollen due to the amount of power that he was gathering within his stomach. Naruto saw that coming a mile away. The 9 tails did not hesitate. The both of them were using a bit too much power. Despite them being a bit away from the land of lightning, the amount of power generated was getting crazy, as that amount of power would be enough to wipe away this mountain. The fox launched the beam straight at Naruto head on. With a grin on his face though, Naruto ran headfirst into the attack with reckless abandonment. Unfortunately, the amount of power that was being erupted from the both of them, most of the 9 tails' destructive source though, caused the attention of the nearby Kumo team that was passing through this area, taking a quicker way to get back to their home. Because this place was isolated and empty, they didn't expect it one bit. The Kumo team decided to investigate. There were 3 of them. A young man named Amoy. He had white hair, dark skin, and a lollipop in his mouth, a sword on his back, dressed in the standard Kumo uniform. Nearby was a girl with red hair. Her name was Karu. As the one there governed their team, older than them, a sword with her as well. Her name was Samui, blonde hair and blue eyes. "You two stay here," she said, stopping them after seeing an explosion eviscerated the top of the mountain and kept on going. This was... For a moment there she thought that one of their tail beasts were training, that one of their Jinjulkis were using the power of the tail beasts, but they wouldn't be out here. She told the others to stay behind. Amoy started to panic. That was his thing. He was overthinking extremely so, as Karu had to walk him over the head to ensure that he calmed down. Samui sneaked up towards the top. When she saw the both of them, they can't be humans. Their blows were causing trembles in the very ear itself. The red-headed one, with those red marks going down his cheek. She watched as he missed a blow and punched the ground. It shattered into pieces. She watched as the other one, Han, his skin was... Wait, that was a Jinjuliki. His hand ripped through the other one. They were definitely trying to kill one another, but yet, the both of them were smiling, even the Jinjuliki. Partially transformed in his second stage, he was smiling as well. She was shocked though when she saw him ripped himself off the arm. Like it was nothing, his wounds healing almost immediately. Both of them flew at one another and punched each other so hard, it caused a quake. The mountain cracked as she had to jump away. Her sudden movement alerted the both of them. Naruto's shirt was burnt off completely. He was only left in his pants. Kurama had kicked it up a notch, as there was two other extra tails floating behind him. They both gazed over as they realized that someone was there. So focused on the battle, they did not even realize. This was the first time they were actually testing one another to see just how much Naruto has grown. It has been 2 years of non-stop training to try to understand the true limits of this immortality, and, well, it's been truly spectacular. They've been keeping off the radar, going to places that humans would not visit, ensuring that they were alone. They live off the land, hunting, every now and again making their way down towards the cities that were nearby. Acquiring clothing and things that were essential was rather easy for Naruto, the way he grew about it with his extraordinary body. Samui looked towards the two of them as she watched. The Jinjuliki returned back to normal. They were the same person. Small differences in their features, but they looked the same. Stubborn and not wanting to leave her sensei to fight alone, Karu rushed towards her side, seeing that she had stopped and seeing the fighting had stopped. "What's going on?" she said, blade already in her hand. Samui raised a hand to stop her. Make sure that she doesn't make another move. These two were far too strong for them. They would die if they decide to fight. She got up, showing that she did not mean any harm. She didn't want to risk the other two's life for no particular reason. "Go ahead," Kurama said. Naruto didn't have that much experience talking to people. He was a human after all. There was only one person that he was used to talking to, other than Kurama, and that was Gaia, someone that he dubbed to rescue. He wasn't strong enough back then, but it was clear his power had grown significantly. Naruto stepped forward as Samui stepped upwards. Her guard was up. She noticed the other one hadn't made a move. He was just standing there. The first thing he noticed was her headband as she questioned him on what they were doing here. "We are simply training," said Naruto. "Has it affected you in any way?" he asked. "No," she said. "I was simply curious on the mass destruction that was taking place." "Who are you?" she asked, wanting to know who exactly this was. "I'm afraid I can't tell you that," Naruto said, not wanting people to know who exactly he was. After all, the world believed that he was dead, and Kurama made a lot of sense when he said it. A dead man can accomplish a lot. After all, people don't look for the dead. Samui figured that he would say something like that, considering the amount of power that they were throwing around. "I'm guessing you're not from around here," she said. "What would make you say that? It's not like you know everyone in this area." "Well, I don't. But there is no one around here like you too," she said, as she scanned him up and down. "Your friend over there, your brother, I presume. He's a Jinjuliki, isn't he?" Naruto watched her very carefully. "You know about Jinjulikis," he said. "So he's not hiding that." She questioned herself, and yet he doesn't want to say his name. She wasn't sure what kind of tail beast he was. After all, The second stage. Almost all of the tail beasts had it. But given the amount of tails that were seen so far, the lesser tail beasts could be counted out. And that just left a few remaining. You won't tell me your name and yet you tell me that your friend over there is a Jinchuriki. Doesn't that defeat the purpose? She questioned Naruto. Do you believe any villages is going to tell another if they've lost their Jinchuriki? Naruto questioned her back. He's smart. She thought to herself. Over to the other side, Kurama was listening very closely. If Naruto was going to fix this world, he need to understand people. Naruto wasn't a normal child, and he wasn't talking about his immortality. The child was very, mentally messed up in the head. There was a lot of mental damage there. After all, he got a taste of freedom and he chose to end it all. That was a big part of it, and that shows. Over the years, there has been some struggles. Coming face to face with his first human, it triggered Naruto. The only other person that did not harm him was Gaia. Seeing others, especially man, as it reminded him when they cut into his skin, just to test how fast he would heal, it reminded him of the pain. Although he was desensitized to pain, there was a lot there to unpack. Kurama wanted him to become more social, to understand people. After all, the way his father believed that they were going to find peace, Naruto could not achieve that way. But in these days, in this era, there is another way though, through power, as that is the only thing that Kurama sees that can truly affect mankind right now. Over to the other side, he was right. No village would ever tell another village that they lost their Jinchuriki. Well, I see that you're very smart, she said. As she looked towards Naruto and then back towards Kurama. We were just passing through. We will be on our way now, she said. She expected some kind of rebuttal. Him saying that they wouldn't be allowed to leave or something, but he wished them luck. He wished them luck. She looked back towards him. He seemed nice. However, when they returned back to their village, the first thing that will be done was a report about this incident. Come on, you two, she said. Let's go. As the others were looking at Naruto, he made his way back over towards Kurama. I suppose that is progress, he said. Yes, good job. We can call it a day now, Kurama said. We can call it I best you, said Naruto. Please. I was nowhere close to my full power, Kurama said, boasting about his strength as he usually did. Keep on telling yourself that. I really wasn't, he said. As both of them started to argue, it was out of fun though. The Nine Tails was extremely prideful, and Naruto loved to tease him about that. Time skip. After they left the area, several ninjas arrived. There were two different squads. One of them hailed from Kumo, and another squad that hailed from another area. But they did not interfere with the Kumo team, knowing that they should not be here. The leader of the squad turned towards another behind him. Send the report back immediately. This is our closest trail yet. By that time though, Naruto had disappeared. Unfortunately, the second team that was after him wasn't your ordinary team. While Jiraiya of the Sannin had spies around the entire nation, this man that was after him had a lot of people around the entire nation as well. And I'm not talking about Danzo Shimura. Naruto and Kurama found themselves settling within a forest area, as they were going to rest here for the night before moving out once again. Kurama wanted Naruto to blend into society, to show him the inner workings of mankind. Naruto has seen the darkest part of humanity, and that was Danzo Shimura, someone that he would erase one day. While Naruto has grown strong, he wanted to make sure there was nothing that would stop him from gaining his revenge. Absolutely nothing. There was one thing that might be a problem though, and that is the ability to seal someone away. You see, Naruto could not be killed, but there was a chance that he could be sealed away in prison. And that was the thing that the both of them feared the most. Being locked away for a majority of his life till now. And Kurama also being locked away as well. Thus, that is the reason why they weren't marching to the Hidden Leaf just yet. You would wonder how Naruto knew these things. It was Gaia. Near to the end, Gaia told him everything. She told him who Danzo was. She told him where Danzo originated from. She apologized for everything that she did, her part that she played into this. At first, Kurama told Naruto not to trust her, believing that it was a trick, but the girl was genuine. She made it so that Naruto trail would not be discovered. Over the years, somehow, Naruto was able to change someone like her. However, it was a pureness that came from the child. Same for Kurama as well. When they first met, his first instinct was to free him. He had something about him that made you want to believe in him, believing that he can help you, believing that he can become your friend, even if you hate him. Understanding the pain of trying to end your own life, it had really given Naruto insight on pain itself, as he realized that not everyone in the world was horrible, and there was some people out there that just can't help it, and there was some people out there that needed help, but there was some people out there that deserved to die. Dressed in another red shirt, Naruto had a blade on his back. The blade was made from his own bones, specially made, and very powerful. As the both of them arrive, this was the best yet Naruto has interact with another human, and truly interact in a pleasant way, other than Gaia or Kurama. Well, you can't really count him, but still. So this was a positive move. Kurama believed that it was time that Naruto started venture into small villages to go around more human populace. Naruto found himself lying as he gazed towards the stars. There were certain things that always appeared in his mind as he thought about them. He thought about the future a lot. He thought about his life a lot. As he wondered, could he ever truly get close to someone? His body had changed, but Kurama could see from the inside. Naruto would stop aging very soon. It seems like his body was reaching the physical peak, and then it would come to a stop. His aging process was slowing down incredibly so. Soon enough, it would completely stop. So that would no longer be a problem. As Naruto wondered if he could ever be with someone, if he could ever love someone. Naruto had a lot of books with him. He was taught how to properly read and properly understand things. After all, Danzo wanted to turn him into the perfect weapon. A weapon that can blend in. A weapon that can be smart in any environment. So they gave Naruto a lot of knowledge base. Things to do there. Naruto picked up a few books along his way. As Naruto wondered if he would ever be able to be with someone, to be with them, to love them. After all, he would be outliving them. And then it would be painful. The thing that Naruto hated the most in this world was losing people. Because he barely had any. Losing those that were close to him, it would wreck him. It would completely break him down. And he couldn't stand something like that. Kurama simply told him to hope for a better future. Where there is a will, there is a way. That made Naruto feel a lot better. Yes, it did. Someone's coming, Kurama suddenly said, as Naruto got to his feet. Who is it? There's a lot of them, Kurama said as Naruto looked around. He focused. Due to his enhanced senses, his body being pushed beyond its normal limit, Naruto started to hear their footsteps. Slowly focusing, he started to hear them. 10, 20, 30. There was a lot of them indeed. They were indeed here to fight. However, one of them separated from the bunch. Seems like I am the lucky one, she said to herself. A woman jumped down. As Naruto stood there, he was surrounded. She had blue hair, dark eyes, dressed in a green battle dress with an obi wrapped around her waist. She stepped towards him. I am not here to fight, so please, We don't have to turn this into a battle. She came with a calm demeanor, tried to persuade him with her calm, gentle words. Is that the reason why there is 30 plus shinobis hidden in the shadows? So he knew. She thought to herself as she stepped towards him. Just precaution, she said. My master has heard about you. He has? Newt said, genuinely surprised. They've been keeping a low radar so far. When it clicked in his mind. You believe? Yes. The survivors, Kurama said. They came across a little town some time back, where there was this group of ninjas with musical headband attacking a few people. Naruto was wearing a mask, but the mask was destroyed. He thought that he covered his face, enough so they would not see, but it seems like they took to his description rather well. Due to the fact that he could not be killed, that must have raised a lot of alarms with the survivors. A few of them had escaped, but the only reason why was because Naruto had stayed behind to help the people there. They were innocent people. However, the moment he saw one of the injured wincing in pain, it triggered him. He almost killed the man that he saved, so he had to run away. And he didn't bother to go after the others, because he was put in a rather catatonic state afterwards. It seems they knew about him. Might I ask, how do you know where I was? It was a toss. The woman said, we have a lot of people looking for you, but I can assure you that we are not here to kill you or anything. My master just wished to speak with you. Trust me, he can make it worth your while, in any way that you wish. My master has a lot of influence, a lot of power as well. And who might you be, said Naruto. My name is Guren. Can I receive one as well, she questioned. She was told to be, well, generous, cautious with this one as well. After 1+ years of hunting him, there were certain signs that he left in his quake, showing that he was a very destructive individual. This was not the only group. Due to the pattern that Naruto has been sticking to, his pattern has become recognizable, and due to his existence being aware of, well, they study his pattern and now they were able to locate him. Naruto walked over towards his bag that was on the ground. I'm not gonna give you my name, said Naruto. Now, I kindly suggest that you people leave this place, because I'm not an idiot. Your only reason and goal is to kidnap me. Your master wants to see what I can do, Naruto said, and I'm not gonna fall for it. So I'm gonna give you a chance, just one. Leave this place, or none of you will like what will happen after. This is your chance to pick your life or death, and I assure you, fighting me will only end one way. Naruto said as he picked up his sword. He proceeded to unsheath the blade. It wasn't really a special sheath, but bandages wrapped around it. The sword was strange. It was indeed his bones, but it was more than one, merged together due to his chakra. His chakra was special when it came to his own body. After all, sending chakra through your bones should not be normal, especially when they're outside of the body, unless some extra precaution was set in place. However, Naruto wasn't normal. The blade wasn't like your average blade. It was straight to a point and then curved around. Not to mention the jagged edges on the other side. The handle was painted black and red, with a slit, like Kurama eyes on it. Guren released a heavy sigh. I really hope that you'd have simply taken my word to heart, but I guess we have to do this the hard way. She was the first team to come across him. She would not allow this opportunity to slip through her fingers. Her master, Orochimaru of the Sannin, would be pleasantly happy with her returning back with the Immortal one. Flashback. Orochimaru received word about why they failed their recent conquests. The Sannin was intrigued. For the next year and a few months, Orochimaru pursued Naruto in ways that he has never truly done before. Orochimaru was obsessed. He had a way to dive into your mind, similar to the Yamanakas, but, well, not as profound as theirs because the person would be dead afterwards. Catatonic state, but still that was horrible. Orochimaru was able to see with his own eyes. Naruto was stabbed through the heart. Naruto was slashed at the throat. And yet he kept on moving like it was nothing. The Sannin was beyond shock. Orochimaru's entire existence was leading up to one thing: becoming immortal, because he needed time. Time to learn everything in the known existence of reality. To believe that there was someone out there like this, he had to have him. He had to know what makes him tick. He had to find out. How was he able to do it? So that is why he's placed majority of his efforts on locating this boy. Orochimaru split many of his forces. It took a lot of time and a lot of calculations to pinpoint his movements. Each of these teams had one special person with them. He split. The Sound 4, even Kimimaro was sent out as well, and Gurren as well, and Gurren team as well, to ensure that the retrieval process would go perfectly. Persuade him at first, but if he chose to, well, be violent, take him down and bring him to him at any means necessary. It did not matter who they had to sacrifice. That was their job, and it had to be done. Gurren created a crystal blade on her hand. "I'm afraid letting you go is not an option," she said. "Fine." Naruto raised his blade and sliced his own arm off, confusing her until the arm mutated into another. Kurama landed beside Naruto, his eyes glistening within the dark. No hesitation as the both of them kicked off from one another. Gurren tried to block his blade with her crystal, but it shattered. Gurren felt it tear at her skin. She was launched into the foliage. She crashed there on the ground. The others rushed in to fight him. Gurren steadily get to her feet. Shock. You see, her body was covered by her special crystal. The amount of force required to shatter it was beyond incredible, and yet he sliced through it. She was bleeding. She used her crystal release to crystallize the wound, to slow the bleeding down. If it wasn't for her crystal shield, she would be sliced in half. What kind of weapon was that? She underestimated him and almost lose her life. Gurren slowly made her way as she hopped to the tree. She was astonished to what she was witnessing. 15 plus surrounded him. However, it was the way that he fought. He sliced his own body parts like it was nothing. She watched as he sliced his own head off and threw it into the sky. His body then erupted, blowing several of them to pieces. The neck down regenerated within seconds. He landed. He crushed 2 skulls by simply stepping on them. She watched as he missed and ended up punching through a tree completely clean. This person clearly wasn't human. She looked over towards the other side as she saw the other one. He was a different kind of monster. He wasn't doing the same things, but he was ripping through her forces like it was nothing. Gurren jumped down, running through hand sign as she created a massive crystal shield. As it spread, turning into a wall, trapping Naruto and Kurama on the inside. Gurren plunged her hand on it as the place started to rain down crystal flakes. Kurama was stabbed through the gut as those flakes expanded in a massive range, tearing through him. Naruto was teared through as well. They turned into trees. The others that were unfortunately in there was also ripped apart. Gurren was trying her best to immobilize the both of them, when suddenly, the one that born from the hand erupted with power that she's never felt before. The place started to tremble The crystal wall started to crack. As for Naruto, he broke apart into little pieces by simply tearing himself apart. Despite the fact that this should be painful, he simply tear through it, allowing himself to break apart. Suddenly, each of his body part had a mouth. As they start to bite down and chew on the crystals, like a virus, they infected and devour them. She watches one of his hands turn as his whole body emerged from it. Naruto then flew forward and punched the crystal. Gurren was shocked as she saw it crack. She applied more chakra. Suddenly, he pushed off with so much force. The ground trembled. The other punch, she jumped away immediately as she felt it. Knowing what would happen, boom! The entire thing shattered. That's not possible, she thought. He dashed towards her. Gurren grabbed a nearby comrade and threw him. Naruto's hand knocked the guy's head off his shoulder, giving Gurren the seconds that she needed to create a crystal dragon that slammed into him, lifting him off the ground, slamming him back into the earth. Gurren saw as he held the top half and the lower half. With pressure, he ripped it open, cracking her crystals with his bare hands. That level of strength was superhuman. His durability wasn't the problem. It was his strength. His speed. This monster was too powerful. She underestimated him. Gurren immediately created another crystal wall, but this one was to keep the others inside of it. No hesitation, she ran away. Her life was more valuable than theirs. Orochimaru informed all of his top lieutenants to sacrifice the others without a second thought, if it means them getting the, culprit. But she did it to survive. As she ran away, Kurama landed beside Naruto, blood dripping off his arms. Naruto picked up his blade off the ground and about to go after Gurren, but Kurama stopped him. Let her return back to her master and inform him of what happened today. A little fear goes a very long way. What if he spill? We don't want people knowing I'm alive just yet. He had 1+ years to do that. He has no intention of giving you to anyone or allowing anyone to come after you. He wants you for himself. Kurama told Naruto. He then looked around. This will be the perfect opportunity, he said. I suppose so, said Naruto. He sat down. Focus, Kurama said. Feel it like an extension of your body and grip onto it. Naruto started to change. His hair started to change color, turning black. Kurama gazed around as he saw all the fresh they killed. Their bodies were losing their color, losing their mass. It was like the environment was sucking them dry, if the environment was Naruto. You see, immortality wasn't the only thing that happened to Naruto. Kurama saw them himself, the hands of death, trying to claim the both of them. A phenomenon that he believed would never truly happen again. Happened on that day. As he's been seeing things that were peculiar with Naruto's abilities. He fought, killing someone in the past. And there was this wave of energy that was released after the death. Kurama believed that Naruto could harness the power of the death, similarly to a sage that could harness the power of sage mode. Being around the fresh corpses that just died was providing the perfect opportunity. The changes were almost instantaneously. His hair started to turn dark, like pitch black. Bones started to emerge out of Naruto's back. Unfortunately though, Naruto keeled over and started to cough. Black liquid escaped his mouth. The moment it touched the ground started to decay. Not melt, decay. Rot away. I lost it, said Naruto. This was much harder than he expected. Kurama placed a hand on his shoulder. There's nothing to worry about. We have more time, he said. But for now, it's time to leave this place. Naruto picked up his blade as he started to wrap the bandage around it once again. His blade was a lot tougher than steel, made from his bones, a few that he broke apart, grind up and instill inside of it. It was all powered by his chakra, so don't imagine Naruto swinging one simple weapon. Imagine thousands of tiny weapons swinging, and all of the force goes in one place. That is why it was so easy for him to shatter Gurren Crystal Blade and tear through her armor, because all of the force went to the striking point. The other parts were extremely weak in that moment, but given that, the force was strong enough to tear through any kind of steel, and even her ability that seemed to be so powerful, something that she was extremely proud of. Sometime later, Orochimaru wasn't expecting her to return alone. "What happened?" he said, demanding answers immediately. Gurren told him everything. Orochimaru was not pleased with their failure, but at the same time, he was happy. His words of disapproval hurt her more than any punishment could, because that was all that she seeked, his approval. The Sannin stepped away, leaving her to wallow in misery that he was disappointed in her. However, Orochimaru's interest was piqued to a level that could not contain him. He sent word for the others to return back home. Gurren was no slouch. She was incredibly powerful. If she failed, then the others will indeed fail. However, there was two of them. At first, the Sannin believed that it was a clone. A strange clone, but the way Gurren spoke about it, perhaps it wasn't. And this mysterious power. Gurren was someone that he wanted, so entering her mind and destroying it was something that was not in the cards, but this boy had the answers that he seeked, true immortality. Orochimaru decided that he would be the one to go. His patterns will be studied and followed. He will try to change them, but an old dog finds it hard to, learn new tricks. The Sannin will be the one to go himself. There will be backup, of course. However, Orochimaru could not let this opportunity slip through his finger once again. If he had this boy, he would achieve everything that he wanted. He put his plan aside. The attack on Konoha, retrieving the Sharingan, he put that all aside for this sole purpose. This was the most important thing to him right now. Nothing else and no one else. As he ventured on, Naruto and Kurama made their way as they head onto a ship that took them across the sea, leaving the wooded area as they made their way towards the land of water to get lost in the numerous islands that were near. Unfortunately though, they will have a rather surprising run-in, but not just a normal surprising run-in, as Orochimaru was also on his case as well. A phenomenal battle was going to take place. Orochimaru seeing everything that he ever wanted right in front of his eyes. And in the middle of this, there's going to be a team from Konoha. A team from Konoha that will be venturing out towards the land of wave that was located within the land of water. Well, if you want to see what's gonna happen, just stick around and stay tuned because part 3 would be posting as soon as possible. Don't forget to destroy that red subscribe button and become a part of the Making family. But I'm off and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.